Eye-to-eye contact. Let's play a little game. All right, I want whoever you're sitting close to, sit closer to them. Michael and Liz. You two. Sit closer. Okay, you're with Maria. Joe, you're with Emily. Jonathan, you're all by yourself. Someone pair up with Jonathan right there. Carlo, why don't you go be with Jonathan? All right, you guys are right there. That's great. What I want you guys to do is from this distance, turn and look at the other person now. How quick were you guys to start laughing? Almost instantly, right? How awkward was it? How quickly did you sense the awkwardness?
Incredibly.
It was like a split second, and then you realize how weird that was. Okay, you guys can sit at normal distances now. Now, yeah, it's difficult. You guys, and this is the thing, is that you guys weren't even as close as most of the time how often we make our couples get even closer, right? So if I had Caitlin and Kevin come up here for a second, we don't need to take a shot on this one. But let's say you guys were to look at each other, like you guys were sitting shoulder width apart, right? If you guys are in a closed pose, go into a closed pose and now look straight into each other's eyes. Okay? That is very, very weird and uncomfortable. Yet we do it all the time. We should stop. That's what I'm trying to say, is stop making people look directly into each other's eyes from that distance apart. There's a difference if you guys go into an open pose, face the camera, okay? Open pose, and now when you look at each other, that's different, right? There's a distance there, it's a little bit more comfortable, it's totally fine. It's still kind of like a stage type of moment, but it's less awkward. So when you look at this image right here, what you'll notice is the shot on the left, it works, it's fine, it's deliverable, but there's, to me, a sense of awkwardness in the fact that they're looking at each other from that distance. It makes it feel to me like a photographer set it up until they're about to go for a kiss. In the split second somebody's about to go for a kiss, usually the eyes will close or they'll be glancing at each other just before they make connection. Sometimes they're going to be looking at each other's lips, okay? In that split second, the gazing is kind of okay because you can tell story purpose, like from a story standpoint, that they're about to go in for a kiss. And I actually have a little study of it. You guys are great now. Thank you. This is an actual kiss shot in sequence. So the kiss happens on the left, and then a split second after that, this is shot at like 7 frames a second. So this is all within basically 2 seconds. So the shot right after. So here, eyes closed when they go for the kiss. So by the way, if someone goes for a kiss and their eyes are open, how awkward is that going to feel in a camera? It's going to be really weird. So identify that and make sure their eyes are closed. Right afterwards, look at this. Her eyes are still going towards him, but they're still kind of closed, right? His are still going towards her. This is less than a second later. His eyes are already in front of her forehead. Hers are going down towards him. Do you see how less than a second from when that kiss actually happened, their eyes are actually not going directly at each other anymore? So, the purpose of this is to understand eye lines, okay? And that leads me into the next thing. We're just going to carry this right into the whites and eye lines. The other thing we want to make sure that we are aware of when it comes to the eyes are the whites of the eyes. Actually, let's have you guys come up real quick. This happens very easily when the chin is not pulled far enough. So for example, okay, let's have you guys hold hands right here. And let's have you look over to this side. Look towards Kevin, actually. Kevin, I want you to keep your chin kind of this way, but then bring your eyes over to Caitlin. Okay? Okay, take a picture of that. I just want this stuff for blackmail, basically.
Hold it. Hold it.
Okay, now that's an exaggerated shot for sure. We're generally not going to go, everybody's going to be able to identify that that's weird, right? Okay. But if Caitlin's chin, this is what I want to show, you're looking back towards him. Okay, if I pull your chin back a little bit, but your eyes stay over him, it doesn't even have to be that exaggerated, and then take that shot again. So all I did was I pulled her chin a little bit back towards the camera, and look at how much more whites you're going to get now in the eyes. That still works. Pull it back a little bit more. Go like to bring the chin right here, and now look right at Kevin. Okay, there you go. Okay, so this happens from the chin being pulled too far away from where the eyes are looking, basically, right? And so what we want to do is just, you guys can make anything look somewhat okay, so that's totally fine. But all we got to do to fix it is basically bring the eyes over, bring the eyes in, bring the chin back towards where the eyes are looking so that the exaggeration isn't as much. So when you see her eyes going that far to the side, you either bring the chin over, or if you don't want her chin to go that far, you say, you know what, my dear, I want you to look down to the ground on this side. Kevin, you turn the chin into her and look towards her. And there you go. You create the shot by basically not requiring them to look directly at each other. Okay. Let's take a look at that. Perfect. And that's exactly what we did here. Was the eye line was very awkward in this shot. And so all I did was I just said, you know what, just look down like towards the strap of your dress instead of trying to look back at him. And then I have him still looking at her. And it looks fine. Okay, so what I want to analyze in this are the eye lines. And what we're looking for is, I love eye lines that lead into each other because it holds us in the frame, right? So her eyes are basically going across, his are going across, and they eventually actually will cross over each other. So they're actually going down and into each other. And so you'll see me doing this a lot when I pose my couples, is we create eye lines that will actually cross each other, okay? So eye line, she was looking towards this side, him looking towards her, okay? Okay, so what this has a tendency to do is when you look at the image, without all these nasty X's, okay? So look at this. Again, we go back to what are the hands, the arms, the eyes doing, right? So look, arm up, eyes down, eyes across. Okay, so each one of these points is kind of holding us. So as we go down, we go another arm, we can go eyes and down and into the image. Okay, so we're framing and keeping a loop. Same thing here. So look, frame, frame, eyes, eyes. So we're trying to hold someone's attention as opposed to if he was looking out the camera, like out the view, you would go eyes up and out and then straight out of the frame because he's looking outside. Okay, so the easiest way to do this is if you were to hug into his arm. So I always just do this, and you guys have seen me do this already, is I say, Caitlin, I want you to kind of look down and towards this side. There you go. And Kevin, I want you to look towards her, okay, or down and towards her. Now, okay, Caitlin, it's your turn to whisper something funny into his ear. And what I want you to do is actually let's actually make this a little bit of a walking shot. So what I'm having you do is step back a little bit. Perfect. Hug into him, kind of flirty-like. Say something funny and sweet into his ear, and start slowly walking towards Joe. So go ahead and say that line. Perfect. Thank you, guys. Okay, so as these are loading, you guys can see, looking at the eye lines, the crossing of the lines, right? Throughout this entire sequence. It's natural, it feels good, because they're not forcing each other. If we were to do that exact same thing, guys, do that same thing, but look right in each other's eyes. Perfect. They're gonna start casting shadows on each other when they get too close to that, so let's just see if the first one. Okay, it would still pass as acceptable, but it feels less natural, right? It's a little bit odd. The expression does sell it, though. Any questions on eye lines, whites, anything like that? Does that all make sense? Joe?
Yeah, so I've seen some pictures that kind of work where the guy's looking off in the distance. In what instances would that actually work?
So, really good question. You've got an epic view. This is our epic view. All right. So let's do this. Guys, take a small step towards this side. Okay. Keep going a little bit that way. I want you to hug onto him, Caitlin, kind of like, I want this to be like an intimate moment where, That's really cute, actually. Let's do that, but do it around this shoulder. So both arms come up and around this arm. There you go. And then maybe one hand go up and under. So bring the other hand, your left hand. Sorry. Left hand up and under, this hand over. Perfect, just like that. I want you to lean into him a little bit. Perfect. And Kevin, this is a beautiful sunset. I just want you to look. The beautiful sunset is behind you, but I want you to look out in this direction as if you're looking at the beautiful sunset. Now, when you take this shot, so take this shot, leave the open side of the frame where the beautiful sunset is. Okay, so now he's looking out towards this side where there's a beautiful view, and she's kind of looking into him. I want to make sure that you're kind of like gazing into him a bit. So turn a little bit more kind of like open to her. She's hugging into him. You're looking kind of out and towards this side. You're probably going to look more towards this side. And then Kaylin, look down and towards your hand a little bit. Let's go ahead and, oh, beautiful. Perfect. Yes, it's a beautiful sunset. Perfect. So if he's looking out, now again, we're saying in this, let's not use this as a pointer. We're saying that the background is actually the sunset, right? So he's actually not looking at the sunset, but he's looking out into the scene. We leave the open side of the frame as that view. Then it takes on like an okay kind of feel to it where it's like, it makes sense. We can see what they're looking at. We can see the expanse. We can see the openness, and it feels more natural.
So you wouldn't do this kind of pose for like a portrait then, like a portrait with an 85?
No, because you're gonna sense, Joe, zoom into a 70 millimeter. Okay. Kevin, look up and towards this light. Look down and towards him. Zoom in and do that close up. Go landscape. Go closer. Go closer so you can't see any of the background or anything like that. Just go close. All of a sudden you get this like 1980s, like what's happening? What's he looking at? Doesn't it have that Step Brothers kind of look to it? Now, anyway, just for the sake of this, both of you guys look at the light and kind of have the Step Brothers look right now. Yes. Does that not have this kind of like weird feeling to the image? It has this weird like, I don't know. This is like the old school portraits that they used to do in a studio and have them look off and into the light, and it just feels completely unnatural. But hey, if you're trying to mimic the old school look for a joke, do it, by all means. Any other questions? Please just go out and shoot this photo for every one of your clients. Not for Lynn and Jirsa. On your own. All right, guys, let's go ahead and go to the next video now.